And you know what we here for. I am back. I know I don't be around as much. I've been on vacation. You see me, I'm finally back in the office. Even though I did do one episode in the office, but most of the time I've been away. And of course, we got to come back with Azel's theory. And today's theory is you don't have to prove it anymore. I can say it. Freedom of speech is out here. You are free to say whatever you want without consequence, even though I'm argue the second part of this title, social media is ruining America, it's kind of consequences happening. And of course, I'm joined with the legendary man himself, the one and only man in all these spaces that these interesting conversations are happening. BMT, how are you doing today, my guy?
Hey, what's going on, Zell? Thank you for having me here today. Definitely am glad that you chose me to come for this conversation. This should be another good one. If you guys are coming in, please like the video, share the video, as well as let's get up to watch time and subscribe to Zell's Theory. Let's get it going.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Anybody want to stop by, leave your comments. I want to hear your thoughts on everything we talked about, all the different theories, all the different things, because there's a lot of different theories that goes into this one topic, and it's so interesting. I want to go over this theory that somehow nowadays you don't have to prove it. I can say whatever I want. And the argument I've been hearing a lot lately, BMT, is freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is dead, yet I constantly see these same people saying freedom of speech is dead, spewing whatever. They say whatever without any consequences whatsoever, without any thought. Most of the consequences usually go to famous people who say such things, which most regular people do not get suspended for the wild things they say or anything, kicked off platforms, most of that. But people today can get off whatever. We don't have to prove anything we say. And that's the discussion I want to come in today, because I know BMT has been in a lot of panels and I want an experienced person on this YouTube stuff, because it mostly starts on Twitter and YouTube. Those are where these conversations are happening. And I want his thoughts, as well as I'm gonna give my own on a bunch of different set of topics from different ranges, from politics to race relations to society in itself to social media to conspiracy theories, and why they are, while seeming inconsequential, kind of starting to have an effect on the real world. Bim, to your thoughts on the overall subject.
Pretty much. We definitely are in a crisis of a time, whereas to social media or the bedtime stories are definitely overflating that the perception of reality. Whereas to you're hearing that of the what if convoluted stories, and they're overtaking that of what we can have of a healthy dialogue of a life, from talking on fear mongering to gender hyper conversations, hypersexuality, risky behavior. It's a whole plethora of things. There are some good stuff, but wholesomely, it's overshadowed more so by the negative, which people are now believing that is that of the only perception of reality. So we're definitely here for that one. Let's go ahead and have it. I've seen enough of it.
So I know this is not a popular topic, but Zell theory not meant to be popular. But social media, when I see some things on social media, right, I see certain things, and people get they have these discussions, and most of the discussions rule in idealisms of that of their bubble, which social media has created. Because used to BMT, me and BMT old enough that you used to have a conversation with somebody to prove your theory, and when you talk to them, you had to prove it. Like, oh, so and so did this, and the first thing somebody would ask you in the early 2000 BMT would be, "Oh, how you know that?
Yeah.
How do you know that? You knew because you didn't have this conflated worldview and see what everybody doing. It usually came to people in your neighborhood, and somebody would conversate about that person in their neighborhood and be like, "Oh, BMT nickname BMT guy used to be up the road. He was with old girl," and somebody be like, "How you know that?" And then you had to come up with some information, or somebody be like, "Oh, he lying. You know he always lying," because you know what I mean. Like
Right.
you're like, oh, I saw him up the road because I saw the little red car he used to be in, and he was driving out the house. Well, how you know what they were doing? And then you had to explain because she came out doing this, and sometimes some people believe you, sometimes not. Now I can go on social media and just say I saw somebody run that, and they'll be like, "That's crazy." No pushback, BMT, and that's on your level or local level.
It's
Just
it's definitely it used to be subverted to whereas to we could, if you said something just like, hey, how do you know of that of the statement that you claim, they would have to actually be answer that challenge and say, well, I know, but either I was there, I can show that of the proof of the evidence, or I actually am that of a part of that of the affiliation or association, or they'll show that of the background research. That's not the case anymore. um, it's a lot of conflated narratives. And it's very interesting how we're seeing people, even like black people, are even playing hard into these narratives. Case in point, watch this. Black men are super predators. That was something said on the news by a politician. Now, somebody who's never met a black person, and they just went off of that of what was said without proof. I know Zell is not one that is overly hypersexual, running around and doing all that crazy stuff. I know I'm not like that. But the narrative was put out there into the universe where people ran with it. So you got to watch out for black men. They're hypersexual predators. Whoa. Wait. Hold up. How did y'all get the narrative? Well, rap music. We all don't rap. The NBA players, they be buying all them girls. All margin of people that make it to the NBA. When them hustlers or ballers, that's not everybody. Believe it or not, I mean, not everybody even knows how to even play the game or even knows the doggone sell margin of crack or dope. So what are you talking about?
they watch The Wire, BMT.
Right. I know what I'm talking about. I seen it on, it was on YouTube. It was on TV. It was on Facebook. So how does that reflect on the whole? And so that way, right now, the fear mongering narrative of black men are out there doing these things. It's crazy. Y'all don't want no family. Nobody wants a family anymore. It's crazy. I literally saw 3 weddings just yesterday. Hell, I was invited to 2 of them. What are y'all saying? Well, everybody's getting divorced. To get divorced means you would have to get married. See, this is why I'm saying, like, the sky is falling, Chicken Little. Everybody's doing the sky is falling dance. The sky is falling dance. Hell, literally, I mean, if it's on TikTok, people are going to do the challenge nowadays rather than think of the consequences. We don't want to talk about the crate challenge. And that's what's scary because people stop thinking and questioning or actually going for viable proof. Somebody get online. Hey, did you know if you take this bottle of green tea and plant it in the ground, you can get a tree? And Zell gonna be like, well, how do you know that? Wait. That doesn't make no sense. You're an opt. No, that don't make no sense. And that's what's happening, man. Like, it's like common sense and morality is being thrown aside for that of the views and validation. Say anything, you can become anything. Yeah, man.
I want to go over that point about the black man and how even though when you present an idea to people, right, it become realistic, right, after a while. For instance, I'm talking to a kid in Chicago, right, young man in Chicago. I'm not gonna live to 21. I got a lot of family in Chicago. I'm not gonna live to 21 because nobody around me lives to 21. Why do you believe this? Because that's what I see. That's all I know around me. The narrative has become true. Like all of a sudden, we got to be thugs and gangsters and all that because why? That's all we know. That's our culture. You heard Kendrick Lamar say "f the culture" a lot of times, and and I'm like, I get what he's saying. Like, if that's the culture, The culture. We don't need that culture. I was arguing the other day about I needed a goal to like because I'm a type of person BMT that I need a goal to get started. Right, I need something to fire me up because if I do, I get complacent. I do. I'm like I don't have no goal. I'm just doing something. I'm going through the motion. I I got a goal now. I want to make a movie on Howard Latimer, as I told you, because you know I'm very high on him. He's one of the ones I brought up last time BMT was here. How he basically invented the air condition, even though it wasn't called the air condition, so somebody else got the title. But he helped Thomas Edison with the light bulb. He was there with Alexander Graham Bell to invent the telephone. He's on the stuff for that. And I'm like, this is an amazing black man that came from us, BMT, that people don't know about. And he's literally was with all the smartest people that America brags about. Like people are like, what is black people culture? America's black people culture.
Yeah, it is.
You eat potato chips, you eat ranch dressing, you go out here and you stop at a stoplight, you stop at a stop sign. All these things are our culture. We invented that. The motor in a vehicle that Henry Ford took from a black man, like, oh, I'm finna use your idea and put it in here. And man, he admitted it. Henry Ford, you can go look at the article. He admitted, yo, this black man made this car, and I put it in and figured out a way to make multiple of them, and then we had a bunch of Model Ts running around. Literally, so every time you do something here, you made it. So that's your culture. But we don't know that, right? Because the narrative is always taught that, oh, you were always only slaves. You were always this and that. You were always downtrodden. You was always poorly educated, even though most were. But as I just mentioned, it's a group of them that were well educated, specifically in the North. South, you were probably uneducated. It was very hard to get out of the South. And I'm like, I got motivated by wanting to write that story, right? And how his family was slaves and all that stuff. So, so you often find it difficult to do YouTube without having these thoughts and having these ideas because what's popular on YouTube, BMT, and we sticking with the storyline of black people. The black woman and black men hate each other thing that's going around. You have Cynthia G, you got Low Tier God, you have like what are they Annalise that be around Destiny Stream, and you have these other people who all present ideas of it's your fault that society that we are doing bad, right? These narratives that wasn't coming in regular place, and I thought they were just for a long time. That's just YouTubers being weird and getting their little group, their little small bubble audience that ain't gonna rise up. But the problem I'm seeing now is it's starting to seep into everyday life, BMT. I'm starting to hear these same weird arguments when people never had problem with each other start randomly having problem with each other. I think it started around when Donald Trump became president and he started just spewing what internet speak was on live TV to people. Even though I can
Well,
say it's certain aspects that were before that, but I think it got bad during COVID too, when people started actually having to sit down, as we talked about before, and sit down with ourselves.
hmm well, what happened was, and I've been on YouTube for a while. Hell, I was even around when Obama was in office, and a lot of people blamed him. What's going on, Carolyn? A lot of people blamed him. He failed black people, but I'm like, he's not just black people's president. He's everybody's president. Well, he don't ever associate with us, and I'm like, he's doing anything. He's just only doing things for the black woman. He ain't doing that for the black man. What really? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you have a highly educated black man that's talking about school and education and different other stuff. Like, I've seen that of the fear mongering and the hate. When you don't know better, it's one thing. When you know better and you choose not to do better, that's a sin. Because then you actually have the information to make that of a change. And that's what's scary about it because you have it where people are going around. Black men have never built anything. They can't protect us. So you're saying that. When we have countless men that have been incarcerated in jail or have been killed because of everything that you say that they don't do. where literally you have a lot of patented inventions. You know how many men were killed, shot? George Washington Carver got cast just for science, so that way he can continue on making his inventions with peanut butter. So when people just run up there and run up there and just say they don't do anything, well, that's those men back in the day. Well, we still got men now doing stuff. You got Robert F. Smith. That's a whole billionaire. There was no gun against his head telling him he had to go to a school where a bunch of boys were at and say, "Hey, I understand it's going to cost y'all some money. Some of y'all going to get stressed out trying to pay back your tuition. Don't even worry about that." Well, where he get the money from? He must have sold his soul to the Illuminati. But if he was watching and paying attention to him, he was putting in work. He was doing stuff for a long time. Just that nobody was watching him like that until he started doing stuff for other people. People never watch you when you're going through your hardships. They just assume that's just what you're supposed to go through. I hear the conversation: men and women shouldn't get together. Black men, black women can't get together because the black woman don't want to cooperate with the black man, and the black man should refuse to protect that of the black woman. And I've heard that narrative, but I'm like, that's crazy because I've seen more women go to bat for men, for education, school, policies, being killed unjustly. And I've seen a lot of men protect their wives, daughters, girlfriends, nieces, their friends without thinking about it. And we'll hear this: if they do it, they call what? A simp, a lame, blue pill, a sucker. So your social media will damn that of the logic of things that we do as a human being, because we know it doggone well. If you or I see a little girl or boy and they're getting hurt or harmed, we're not going to just sit there and sit back and well, I remember what they said on Cynthia G's channel. No, we're not going to care about that. We're going to go over there. This is why y'all have to be very mindful of these preachings and teachings. Almost to the point where you're starting to see these people are cracking under pressure, committing suicide, going out there doing harm and hurt and danger. And when they're looking for, hey, what did this do or serve you? Nobody needs proof anymore. Single mothers are evil. How do you know that single mothers are evil? Well, look at them. They're destroying the community. You mean to tell me women who have kids are single-handedly running gangs, selling dope, crack, and doing drive-bys and killing? Where have you seen that, Zell? Not saying it can't happen, but I don't know. Me in the South.
Let's just throw out some BMT. Oh, all NBA players, all they do is date white women.
That ain't true. That definitely ain't true.
LeBron James married to who? What is she? What is Savannah? BMT.
Black.
Dwayne Wade. Who is he married to?
A black woman.
Steph Curry. Even though she's a black woman. The majority of Carmelo was married to a mixed woman. Same mix he was, Puerto Rican and black. He's Puerto Rican and black. He married the exact same as him. So all your top stars marry black women. I don't like all of them. Like majority of NBA players, by the way, marry black. Even the white NBA players marry black women. The top white NFL player marry black women. If you go to a function, a lot of them are black women. Like, so we just create this narrative because we see the high school, but a lot of this comes from trauma. BMT, we got to talk. This comes from trauma, and I'm gonna go over this, and we're gonna talk about it. High school. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be honest. Most white dude, most top quarterbacks and stuff in high school didn't date the white girl. BMT. We cannot. We're not gonna lie. Like I said, we can prove it. It's literally most of them date a white girl. If I told you now, they ended up most of them end up marrying in my school at least. I can't say for your school. They all dated white girl. They ended up marrying a black girl. That's for my case. I can't say for your high school BMT. From my friend Shemaine to my cousin and all the other ones that's on our team end up marrying black women. I'm not married yet. I'll probably end up most likely marrying a black woman. I'm not gonna ever say definitely not. To be honest, I dated a mixed girl, but then I have never dated nothing but black women. So the majority of them married, but they all dated white women in high school. By the way, I will admit that BMT. But they all of them that actually married a black woman. But I get the pain because in high school, often when you're younger, you're meaner, and that's where a lot of the colorism stuff happen, right? And all the you dark skin, and all that. So people takes these inside internal trauma, and I'm gonna speak on this. Low tier guy was on Disney Stream. I just started watching these people, and I'm interested. And he was saying when he went to all black school, all the black kids made fun of him, and I said instantly, I know why you talk like you talk. I instantly knew BMT. I understand why this guy, low tier guy, talks the way he talks. He said they made fun of me. He said I moved to a private school with all black kids. They made fun of me. And the next and two like a paragraph later, he's talking about black people should just all black men and black women should date outside their race and just end the gene pool because it'll make the world a better place. And I'm like, that's hurt. That's hurt talking BMT. Though you see women on there, if you get into their stories and stuff like that, you learn that some man broke their heart or some story like that, and it always comes to these same type of stories where they end up being hurt or something happened dramatic in their life where they end up resenting black people. Whether they get called names because they're too dark skinned or they be excluded because they feel like people think they're light skinned or they're biracial and they're feeling like they're excluded in these conversations. So they get a little bitter and become, as you would say, feeling like outsiders to the community. And that's everything. When people start feeling like they're outsiders, they start rebelling and going against what they know and just start going in feelings and instead of facts, right?
Right.
All the football player I went in high school and all the basketball player, they all dated white girls. So black men don't do nothing but date white women.
That's not true.
88% of black men that's make over $100,000
They black.
that marry black women. That's even higher than black women that make over $100,000. Now, overall, black women, of course, overall marry black men more than anyone. But all that statistics, but over $100,000, black men beat black women. As you see, Serena and them go to other races too, as you've seen. But you
Right. They
start,
did it for like the longest. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, but like you see these theories like this go out, and they're not true. But you don't have to prove it. You just go off your feelings, and people that feel the same way you do, who have the same traumas or experiences you do, will agree with you. And when they agree with you, BMT, the movement starts getting higher. All right, it's more people agreeing. More people have similar experiences, and the more people that have experiences justify what they say. You know what I mean? Oh, if it happened to me, you, and you, it has to be true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to ask every black woman I see. I just have to ask the ones around me, and the ones around me feel this type of way. So that is like the conversation that's going on. I notice now that most people are actually just feeling off trauma. And we could go into other things after this, but right now we're just talking about black family and how social media have inflated these feelings of being left out. I don't know your thoughts on trauma and how that makes you resent. Because I had to learn how to let go of certain things I felt too, of certain things because I'm like, that's detrimental to my way of thinking and me actually being a subjective person instead of being objective in all my thoughts, BMT.
I will say this. I've been through a lot of stuff. I've been abused. I was raped as a child. I was teased and picked on and bullied. I even went through some abuse in my household. If I wanted to have smoke against that of women or black people, I could. You understand me? I could. But the actions of those people does not dictate that of the actions of those. And that's when people have blinders on. You know, you can tell somebody, hey, you can date a woman with a child. Hell no, I can't do that. No, hell no. I'm like, what? Why not? You can be positive. You can be respectful. Some people pick violence. I choose peace. I do, Zell. I choose peace. When you start asking people about, hey, ain't no girls want to ever date a educated lame. Well, why you keep calling yourself educated lame? I know plenty of women that date smart men. Hell, marry them. And I see plenty of 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 women talking about how he may be not some crazy barbaric fighter, but guess what? He makes me happy. Yes, these narratives are definitely distorting that of what we are trying to do and build.
That is true. BMT, another thing I've been thinking about is how unempathetic we are.
Right.
Because I've been hearing the sacrifice conversation back up, BMT. The sacrifice. Oh, to
Mhm.
be rich, you have to sacrifice somebody. Kanye brought it up, so that's why we're going to talk about it a little bit. Kanye said he sacrificed his mother. That confused me because in order to sacrifice, you would have to do the sacrificing. So you like, they sacrifice. I'm like, but what do they get off? Because if you know what a sacrifice is, that means Kanye would have to sacrifice his mother too for him to be rich. But he said they, and I'm like, that's not how sacrifice work.
Mhm.
So I want everybody to be conscious when you say that, because once you say, when Kanye said it, if Kanye said it, you can go to town on it. But when you start saying other people sacrifice their family members, if they actually see that and nothing like that happened, you just think about how hurtful you are to somebody, right? You accuse me of sacrificing my mama and she passed away, and you said I sacrificed it. That is like insane levels, BMT.
But that's
To be
what
able
people are
to,
thinking right now. That's how people are thinking right now.
yeah, like, to get rich, they sacrifice somebody. I'm like, no, there's some plenty of ways to get rich. Your song pop off, your music pop off, your business pop off, your YouTube pop off. But no, you sacrificed your family to get rich. I'm like, that is odd, BMT. Not saying people they might not have done it, but I'm just saying just to say it without any evidence is to me also asinine.
I want you to think of, you got people right now. There's a thing called red pill, blue pill, black pill. You've heard of it. I've heard of it. It's a coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism for men. I would tell a lot of y'all, y'all gonna have to start making cognitive decisions. I was hearing some people say, well, women are gonna come back when it starts freezing and getting cold and hard to get resources. Women are gonna come back and submit. I had a man telling me about how to be a father. And I asked him, Joe, are you a dad? Hell no, what the fuck I look like having kids? Negro, how are you telling me that's been a dad for so many years how to be a dad? Nigga, I read a book, a psychology study. Do with me. What you gotta do with brothers now? See, that's the problem we be having, man.
No evidence on BMT. No evidence on how,
You don't
on how to prove.
need evidence. You don't. You just gotta just talk your shit.
This is how you get women. That's what they do. Ain't they like the pickup artists, the real pill? This is how you get women. And then like, are you dating somebody? No, I'm single. What? So you don't have a woman? But oh, and then some of our favorite friends, Myron said he couldn't get women BMT until he started getting money. So I'm like, how are you gonna tell me how to get a woman when you couldn't get one until you got money? The only thing you can say is, hey, listen, get money, you can get a certain type of woman, right? I'm a high value man. Well, why are you still single? Why do you? I saw BMT have this discussion. Why are you not dating these tens you claim that you can get, but you're not? You're not dating the said 10. You're a high value man that any woman would want, but you don't date said woman that all your group of people expect you to have. Is that not strange to you, BMT? Is that not strange that you claim you can get this woman, or you can do this, or you can do these things, and these amazing things keep happening, but
Well,
the
that's how.
evidence is never there?
Well, that's how politicians are. They'll tell you something, you know better. They'll tell you something, but they have no evidence of actually. Like I found it interesting. There was a politician talking about that of the school board and doggone education should be reaffirmed. The person teaching the class has a family, has doggone an impressive resume, and when they speak, they can get challenged by people who have no set experience. We need a new football stadium rather than getting the kids books. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Like, I'm trying to. This is why I don't even like doing YouTube no more because it's like you don't need to have any set experience.
It's a YouTuber, right? BMT. I don't know if you know him, the Saint in the Center.
Oh God, not that clown.
So I've been studying him. Like he just came on my radar for some reason. Like he was on academics. He dissed academics, and then he was dissing this guy named Destiny and all the other people. I for some reason I've been curious about how these people act on YouTube because I want to see, do I want to actually get in this world of offering politics and how they respond to it. So he came on and he has this web. He claimed he is a technologist, and he has this successful app. You go to the app, you see it only has 500 downloads. If your app has 500 downloads, 250 of them at least is testing. So in freebies to see if somebody tested out, meaning your app is not successful. DJ Academics, they showed his house. He talking about he's worth $100 million on his website he made, but he lives in an apartment with like the little cement with the. He lives in an apartment that with the outside is BMT is a parking lot. I'm like, I have never seen nobody worth millions of dollars with a house that you see the parking lot on the outside. Have you ever heard that, BMT? Like your apartment has a parking lot out there. He made a fake BBC thing that they made him take down, and he made a fake report saying that he had this woman do a voiceover, and that it was so like insulting to intelligence that I even questioned if the dude had a degree at all. But he said he had a master's degree in political science, which basically makes him an English teacher. For y'all that don't know, if you go to political science, if you don't fully go out to law, you were basically an English teacher, BMT. So for anybody been in school, you know that. But he does these things and he says this and he disses people and says, I'm smarter than you because I got all of this. And I got this and that. And he talks down to a lot of people. And that's how he's not really that popular, but he's somewhat popular. And I'm like, this dude has no one ever questions what he's doing or how he does. Hey Angelica, how you doing? How you doing today? But no one's questioning BMT. Like, what are your credentials to say anything you say? You claim you're an entrepreneur. What is your business? He shows the business. It's not really successful. I can show you my business, and it's not super successful too. But I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like, listen, I started this business, made $100 million. I have helped businesses make a lot of money, but I'm just starting mine. I'm not gonna lie to you and claim that because I want to actually show you evidence that I did something. It's like having your degree and not writing what your grades is, all that. What we talking about now? We talking about you no longer need to prove it, Angelica. You can just say whatever on the internet. You can say I got all these beautiful women, or I can pull any dude, but you don't have to prove it anymore. And you'll grow an audience of things that which you do not have to prove. You can just say it. And I don't know your thoughts on the Sanderson and YouTubers claiming lives they don't have BMT. Because I know you've been having beef with that. So that's why I'm like, oh, he perfect to get on this stuff. BMT? Well, I'll ask him when he get back. He might not. He might be a little busy right now. But shout out to my guy Trey Melton. How you doing today, my guy? Speaking of Trey, he got a golf tournament thing that he be having. So shout out to him. Wedge Golf. So he'll be on his channel and him and his friends be out there golfing. Angelica be like, I know a lot of people nowadays that are mentally halfway home. That ain't true. A lot of people are halfway home. It is true. Like you don't have to prove what you say. No one has to prove anything you say. We just have to just say things people agree with. One thing I have noticed is that prosperity preachers have started doing this, where they speak on things and say God's gonna bless you with $1 million and never does if you give me such and such money. I don't know if Trey's been used to this, but that's happening lately. God gonna bless you with this and this if you give me $100 a piece. If you join my group, you will. If you join my Discord right now, and this costs a $50 fee, we'll sign you in, and all of a sudden I teach you how to talk to women and get money. What is your experience doing that? Are you successful at actually getting that done? Plus, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. There you go, miracle donations. Tell them, Trey, miracle donation. You get out here. If you do this, I'm gonna do this. If you celebrate me and you do that and you do this, I can give you that. And it's a big pyramid scheme. I'm gonna tell y'all the honest God truth. No man besides people that directly know you and know your skills and your strengths and weaknesses can tell you how to speak to a woman. Like people that do that would be usually your father or a adult figure in your life, your friends that can help you move you along. This is what you are. This is what you are strong at. This is what you are weak at, and this is what you need to do. A dude telling you to blindly just go out there and front a Ferrari, my guy, you don't have a Ferrari. You can't flaunt money. It doesn't work that way. People are desperate for approval and adoration from their peers and will say whatever to sound or say they like they know or have some true. And it's money in it now. It's money in making you think that I'm the biggest person in the world, that I wear the nicest suits, that I have the best car. By the way, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Being in music, this is the honest truth. Being in music, a lot of them have loans on their car, liens on their car. They have they rent their cars for their music videos. They do all these things. They pay models to show up to their thing. Why? Because in music, that's what you're supposed to do, right? Like all these girls just want to be around you. You're the cool guy. Wear the big chains. Or do whatever. Being that guy, you are the guy. You are him. The pastor want to tell you, look at how blessed I am. You can be blessed too. The guy, I'm rich. I'm successful. You can be rich and successful too. I have never seen so many. Let me tell y'all the truth about them little conferences about entrepreneurship conferences. Anyone can sign up for them. Anyone can speak at a up top at one of these conferences with all these people here. They have one big name, they pay a lot of money, and if you sign up, you can speak too because they need people to fill the spot. So speaking at one of these conventions or something of entrepreneurial inventions, if you make all you have to do is have a business. And it's not hard to just go to your Secretary of State office and sign up for a business and fill out everything you need. It's easy to get. Even if you're a pastor, you can speak at these things because you're a pastor. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to get in front of these people. Once you get in front of them, You can speak any way you want. Because people, as Angelica said, are desperate for approval. I want to look cool in front of you. I can't be human. I can't show weakness. I can't be what they call a simp. I can't be this and that. I'm gonna tell y'all. Let's go over some political stuff. BMT, are you back? Yeah, I don't know if BMT back. He's not back yet. But let's go over some political stuff, right? We have a theory right now that's going around saying that the Ukraine is a funding operation in Ukraine through the Democratic Party. Now, if I'm on Team Republican, of course, it sounds amazing to me. But again, I don't have to actually prove it. All I have to do is put certain things together, right? All I have to know is that FTX is here. FTX owner donates to the Democrats. Ukraine donated to put their money in their crypto to FTX. A lot of countries have started putting their money in the crypto, by the way. Therefore, since he does that, it's a thing. Now, could it be true? Could be, but again, there's too many lines that's not separated. They can go through that. For instance, Donald Trump has stock in this company. The owner of the company gives money to the Republican Party. Is Donald Trump funneling money to the Republican Party through giving from owning stock to it? You can't prove that. It's unprovable, right? But again, I don't have to prove it because all the Democrats gonna agree with it. Because it sounds like it fair, right? I know it really burns me up to get emails from all the women business meetups on an island on a private yacht that costs $3,500 for 3 days with no accommodation. True, if you have like 10,000 people on your Instagram, you will get all kind of opportunities from the overall 99 one. I got like 9,000 followers now on there, and you can literally just get random emails from companies that just like, "Hey, show your product. Here's this. Try this for free," and you really don't ever make money from it. By the way, Angelica, some of them will actually send you somewhere, but you'll be struggling. They'll just send you like a on a plane and send you to like this convention, and you just show up and take pictures, and that's all they need for you to do. And you literally have the worst time because you don't really have money. Sometimes they even ask you to pay for things, and I'm like, some of them are fake though, so you got to be wary. You got to be really afraid of things right now. She said because they do that. They do. They offer you all kind of crazy little cheap things, and it don't even be a good island. It be some like shafty island on the side of the road, like on just like a little small one that with a bunch of weirdos. Yeah, yeah, they do. They'll stink you there, but it'd be like a bunch of weirdos on a little island that you probably don't like, have nothing in common with. None of them really successful. They all probably at the same place you at in your life, and they're like, it's not really like I will have you with the group of the biggest bunch of millionaires ever. But again, I don't have to prove it. Another one. Let's go over something else. Let's go over another one. Let's go over Black Panther made black men look weak. It doesn't sound as good to say black men wasn't represented a lot throughout the movie, but I have to say they made them look weak. If we go over the movie, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna really spoil it, but Mbaku looked like a beast, and at the end, you can skip over this. Go 5 6 in the future, he becomes king. But yeah, it was they made him look real weak, and black men look weak, and it's like I'm finna get 50,000 views because it's all like some kind of scam. It's a money grab. Remind me of the NCAA that I can't stand. Yeah, you go to NAACP meetings, you all of a sudden they ask for donations right away. The first thing they do, like, can you donate me $100? Whatever you can give, but we would prefer $100. But whatever you can give, I can do it. Everything. What are you gonna do? I'm here to. We're gonna make black people successful, and we're gonna come together on anything we can and do it. For instance, people got a problem with the Black Lives Matters people, and they using money to buy houses and whatnot. How much of that is true? I don't know. Most organizations do that. I seen the one that's supporting Amber Heard. They are like 130 of them supporting Amber Heard. I'm like, that's not a good representation. But they know their fans gonna spend a lot of money to support her because they feel like the world not supporting her. Why? Because she did bad things, right? She did bad things to Johnny Depp, and she's not a really good person. So they're gonna support her, and they know that since people feel like they're getting outed. They feel left out. As we started talking about before, people are feeling left out. They are feeling outed. They are feeling alone at this time. You are the perfect mark. So why people aren't, you no longer need to prove it. It's called people are marks now. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. For y'all that don't know what marks is, marks is basically like you got a sign on your forehead that say, I am a sucker. You can steal from me. In the hood, it's like you get robbed. He don't know where he going. In business, it's like, oh, that dude don't know what we sell him. We can raise the price on him and get thing for the car loan place. I know I can charge you way more with interest and trick you into getting more money out of you because you don't know how interest work and how your credit is. And if you don't know if you pay this much in this, y'all, I can do more. You can do more months, but the interest be higher, and you might well can afford this more. They are holding all the bad for inappropriate use. Since the retirement home started that trend. True. But like these things are happening constantly, and you no longer have to prove that you can do it. You no longer have to prove. Republicans and Democrats no longer have to prove they can do anything, right? This is one of the most upsetting things about politics for me right now is that no one has to prove they're gonna do whatever they say because they don't have to say what they're gonna do anymore. At least I used to get promises of things they weren't gonna do. Now it's Republicans saying Democrats gonna make your kids gay, and I mean Republicans saying Democrats gonna make your kid gay, and Democrats like, oh, they're taking away all this and that, and they doing this and that. I'm like, what about inflation? What about why is my Coca Cola that cost $1.18 last 2 months ago cost $2.20 now? Why are we not talking about those things? Because I have to say something that I don't have to prove. Matt Walsh and Joe Rogan had a conversation about how many kids are taking um hormone pills to down their hormone down. He said it was 1 million. It was 4,000. So when he got fact checked, it was actually a lot less with Matt Walsh and Joe Rogan. It was actually a lot less to it become insignificant, but it don't matter, right? Because that's what people are mad about. This is when high feelings is. And that's where it comes in where social media is ruining America because we can people that openly choose teams now can openly just say things without evidence. If I'm pro black man, I can say a lot of things about black women that don't have to be true, and people will eat it up. If I'm pro black woman, I can say a bunch of things about black men, which we discussed today about basketball players and all that, that maybe get people in their feelings, but are not true. If I'm a politician, I can say things that Democrats are saying or the Republicans are the evilest people in the world, and they are communists and they are Nazis and all this. And it's never has to be true. They will have a nonprofit, but will own the company that owns the building in the nonprofit headquarters. True. Yeah, they will own stuff and then claim it and support it. I can be for this cause and whatever the cause is. Believe all women, even though every case might not be true. Believe all men. Believe this. Believe that. This cause. This is evil. Blah blah blah. I don't have to show evidence, and nothing I say anymore. I'm red pill, and I believe, and it's women's fault that my life is bad. No, it's your fault. It's not a woman's fault that you're not doing great in life, my guy. If I had a woman that would be conquered by me, the internet would be, my life would be so better. My house would be clean. No, clean your own house, my guy. If you're single, clean your own house. I don't know. Like, is that not like a manly thing to do to have a clean house? I'm sorry, ladies. If your house dirty and I date you, and you just got like socks and panties on the floor everywhere, and it's not like some early in the morning thing, and it's just middle of the day, and you've been in the house all day, I'm gonna question you. I'm sorry. It's just me. It's just me. I didn't see it happen. Your bathroom dirty. The complaints be killing me 100%. Listen, your bathroom dirty. I come in the bathroom, ain't nothing in order. I'm judging you. I am like me. I'm gonna at least try to halfway keep it clean. Now, if you come to my house early in the morning, and I ain't really got up yet. That's on you. But past that, when it's 3 o'clock in the evening and ain't nothing right, and you been in the house all day, because you can make excuses other time, right? You were late for work today, and then you didn't have time. You overslept. Your house might be a little out of order. I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Situation like that. But if you've been in a house out there and your house is dirty, dust everywhere, your bathroom sink is dirty, your toilet like black. I'm like, come on now. It's certain things we can do in society, right? BMT, I don't know if you're back yet. I don't think BMT back yet. He'll be back shortly, hopefully. If not, we'll continue this discussion for part two. But again, no self accountability. None. One thing I know that people toe the line on being morally gray, and that's the part that scares me. True. They will toe the line on being morally gray. You see, I noticed that red pill men will often say that that women are often like they don't want to be conquered. They go pay for some woman outside, which I'm gonna be honest with you. You paying for Mel Brad? She probably a slave, my guy. You are paying for basically almost a slave like person who's trying to come to America to be free, and the only way she can get free is to marry you. That ain't real marriage, my guy. I'm just saying if you're paying for someone overseas, that's not marriage. Like you are somebody trying to survive, and they probably from what we know as people been around here doing certain activities that you shouldn't be doing, right? They are doing these trades, and they brag about these things. And I'm like, it is scary to me because again, I tell you that I'm a man with high values, but I essentially pay for women overseas to come over and that I purchase. Is that not strange to you? I'm this elite level good guy man, but I try to diss women every chance I get. The scary thing is that she said morally gray. Angelica said morally gray is where we sit here and we think of this line and we try to be even handed, right? We try to be even in all our thought process. But at the end of the day, we kind of start becoming odd, right? We start becoming borderline weird. Our morals start going out the window. We start feeling lonely. We start having these traumas and stuff like that. Let's go over. Let's do some black women. Black men don't protect us. Black men don't do this. But my beautiful black queen, you only try to date a certain type of guy. I told one of my best friends. I told her this. I'm like, she dated my cousin. She dated one of our friends, and I'm like, you only date the same type of dude. They from the same place. They think the same way. They are best friends. Well, not best friends. They were on the same football team. But you're dating the same type of dude. She said I was right. She was a little harsh in the way I said it. She decided she gonna date some different type of dude. She not marrying dude. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. BMT, are you back yet? I think BMT will be back sure. But you have these certain things, and you told these lines, and you don't have to prove it. Whether you're in politics, you're in everyday life, you're an influencer, you're on YouTube, you're on Instagram, you have the virtue signaling people who say this is wrong, and they don't care. Like I always argue that somehow when a black person, I do think he sleep too. I think he sleep. My man work late. So I think he fell asleep on me too. But you do have these situations in which you have these scary thought processes, right? And you don't have to ever prove it. You can say whatever you want. You can have no consequences, and that's it. And there's nothing like there's no line of moral. There's no moral line. There's no thought process of things like that. There are no conversations that's really happening. People can't even conversate no more. I like for instance, me and Angelica we can have a conversation, we can talk, we can discuss, we can have our viewpoints, we can think for ourselves, and we can have a good conversation and actually move on and understand each other better. But no, it's not that no more. That's why I say it's ruining society. It's ruining social media is ruining society. And I think that is one of the things. I got another show in a minute. So any last thing before we get out of here? Go remember to go follow my guy BMT. Follow my socials at the bottom. You can follow my link tree. It's in the pinned message. Yeah, you don't have to just accept anything someone tell you. You want to understand it. I want to understand your viewpoint. I want to understand why you think the way you do. Some things I like. If you hate me because I'm black, it's no understanding that you are like a psychopath. But other than that, or you hate me because of my religion or some strange thing like that. But other than that, we can have a civil conversation on our differences, right? We can have those. We can have those conversations on why you believe what you believe, and then you realize it come down to culture, societal norms, genetics, all kind of stuff. Oh yeah, what's that? Yeah, what's that? Yeah, I'm over. I'm Zell May. But you can have these things, and you can have these discussions, and you can discuss these things and have what you think happened. And I want to have this discussion today. And I'm about to I gotta leave in a minute because like I said, I gotta prepare for another show. But you can have these discussions, and you can actually talk to one another, despite how different you are, and come to understanding. And sometimes you don't ever know. You might actually like the people you disagree with. You might actually do. It's an incredible thing. It's an incredible thing to be able to actually conversate with people you disagree with and actually come to some type of understanding. Like I said, if it's racism or anything like that, no. But I like to have fun usually. But this is one of my serious episodes. I just want to have my theory out and tell you to actually try to prove what you say more. Actually understand what you are saying. Whether you're Kanye, Kyrie, a politician, me, Angelica, at least have some representation of what you're trying to say and actually try to prove it rather than trying to do, as Angelica said, trying to appease other people and do your own thing. So we're gonna go through again. Go follow my boy BMT, Business Minded Talk. Go follow the Blurred Cartel, like and subscribe to them boys. And if you enjoy this content, come over to my channel and do it. We're gonna have a lot more news related stuff gonna be start coming to my channel. I think I'm gonna do one on Mari and her divorce and what she said on it. I think I'm gonna have a conversation about that on my Zell May channel tomorrow. Or the overall 99 channel. I ain't decided yet. Probably the overall 99 media channel. It's more entertainment. But I'm gonna have more discussions on my channel as well. I'm gonna stream games on the gaming channel. All that is in the pinned message above. So just click that pinned message and remember to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to BMT. All those things. And if you want to, you can have conversations with me. We talk about wrestling in about 30 minutes, so about 20 some minutes. So we're gonna be on that. And I do really appreciate y'all for watching. Shout out to BMT for coming through. I know he probably had a long day. So shout out to him. Yeah, we're out. Peace. Thank you for coming, Angelica, and everybody else. Anybody else that stopped by. And I hope y'all enjoyed the discussion. I know it's not like the funnest discussion that we usually have, but it's something I thought that need to be said. I like to every once in a while put out things that need to be said. So, peace.